Greetings, everyone. Today I just wanted to talk real quick about Vikings. And, I haven't done any videos talking about Vikings before. I haven't done too many TV-related videos in a while, but I want to start bringing them back onto my channel, talking about things I love, which very much includes television. It's probably my biggest passion right now. I love it. I love television. There's so many shows that I'm watching right now, and so many I'm looking forward to, of course. Game of Thrones this year. Oh boy. Vikings Season 5 has been an interesting ride so far. There have been some definite highs. I've enjoyed a lot of the episodes that have just been really good standouts. Just some relationships, some aspects of it I don't like it so much as much as Season 4, which I really liked. But I want to talk about Season 5, Episode 15, which was called Hell. And I want to talk about why it was so good. Now, there's a lot that went into it. Season 5, for all its faults, which I see a lot of them, and as much as I didn't really... In fact, I'll say, I hated the relationship between Bishop Hammond and Lagertha, because Lagertha, a character I love so much, so quickly in Vikings, really she kind of took a nosedive when she got sucked in. Like, long gray hair, I liked the look and everything, but then as soon as that gray hair came, she became attached to Hammond, and that's all her character was about. You only really saw her in scenes with Hammond, and it just I didn't feel anything. And I've seen it a lot. I've watched a lot of reactions to Vikings, and almost all of them have said the same thing, where it's just like this relationship feels weird. They never felt it to be genuine on Hammond's part. A lot of people said that, and I agree. Just the way the actor, I guess, plays the character, or the character's how he emotes in general, doesn't lend itself to a cherishing relationship. So it came to me as a bit of a surprise when you just hear him outcry in his final moments here in the episode, just yelling out Lagertha's name, basically professing his love to her in the most genuine way possible in your last moments of life. And I'm like, okay. Wow, as much as I didn't enjoy the relationship, the way they brought it to an end, it was great, and I'm glad it was brought to an end at the same time. I love Lagertha, and I'm excited to see, even though they made her like this whole disappearing thing now, who knows where she is. That's her angle of the story now. I'm excited to see her in the next season, at least, and see where the show takes her. And because I just really love the character, and it's kind of annoyed me because I loved Lagertha and Ragnar's love for each other, and that relationship was one of my favorites on the show. But when she went into this downward spiral of just like hooking up with all these different guys along the way, from Egbert to the one Earl who she ultimately like murdered right after their marriage, to just raping King Harold when he was prisoner. She's just hooking up with so many guys, and it's just like I think it's a little bit counterintuitive to her character. It's a part of her character, but it makes her character less enjoyable to me, because it's like, where's the value in these relationships? How am I supposed to find value in this relationship with Hammond when she's just hooking up with so many guys along the way? So there's that. So I'm interested to see where her character goes from here. Also with Season 5, we've had a lot of like Bjorn becoming a source of contention for the characters we care about, and Bjorn was at the top for most people as characters we care about now, and he's just been really annoying, especially with Magnus, who's a little brat. Who I also really hate Magnus as a character, because I feel like he's unjustifiably angry towards Alfred for the mistakes of his father and his grandfather, and he had the audacity to say Alfred's just as much to blame as his father and his grandfather for what they did to him. No way. No way. And just makes him an annoying character, and then Bjorn kind of being in his favor makes him an annoying character, and Bjorn's the same way as Lagertha, just hooking up with women each way. Every spot they go to, every new location, he's gonna hook up with a woman. And as much as I still love Bjorn, it made it annoying point for the season. But that's why I want to talk about season 5, episode 15 specifically. It's a highlight, at least for the second half of 5. I'd have to look back and really dig into these episodes for the first half of season 5, but it's definitely up there with one of the best in recent memory. And it's interesting that that's the case, considering the whole Hammond-Lagertha relationship is put up on a pedestal in this episode. It's just the way they did it was so beautiful, I think. One of the most beautifully done deaths in terms of scene. The music was just outstanding. They couldn't have picked better music to accompany this whole scene with the battle, which was great to watch, of course. Great, huge shots of the entire battlefield and the fire going around. There's this amazing music, along with Alfred with the bloody face, talking about it after the battle's been finished, intercut between the actual battle itself. Really nicely done. I think that's great. And Alfred, I think he delivered that dialogue, that monologue so well, and it just made the scene so powerful, accompanied with the beautiful just violins along with that beautiful music. So nice, very nicely done. And Alfred has quickly become one of my favorite characters, actually. And when he was first crowned king, I was like, all right, I don't really care about this guy at all. I never cared about him before. They haven't given him much of a reason to. But they quickly turned that around on me. And he's one of my favorite characters because, I always want to root for a reasonable person. And he's like the most reasonable character on the show right now, in terms of he's working with the Vikings, making a good relationship with Ubba, and doing all these great things, and doing what's right ultimately, not for any corrupt reasons we've seen so far. The only thing you could say is making Bishop Hammond bishop again is corrupt in the sense he did it just to protect himself, really. But that's just countering what's being done against him. He's conspiring and everything. He's had to deal with a lot, and he's really great. And I'm loving the different relationship developing with Ubba. There's a lot of great stuff here with his character in general. I just think if you look at it, maybe if you look at it on paper, the episode isn't outstanding. It's just a battle, and then Bishop Hammond's death. And on paper, it's like, well, how big is that really? You might value Bishop Hammond as a character, but really he's a very new character. At the same time, I know a lot of people didn't like him. A lot of people liked him just for the fact that he was like a badass and things like that, but you never have an emotional attachment to him. And yet the scene was so emotional and brilliant because just seeing Alfred's face in conjunction with these shots, these great shots of Lagertha with the blood on her, and then of course Bishop Hammond, the slow motion, beautiful, beautiful shots. And the music, I can't stress the music enough. I think that's the best part of the episode. And I think it all comes together to make such a brilliant, brilliant scene. And somehow that just makes the episode so good, that by itself. And I was very impressed by the episode. I wasn't expecting, going into it for that episode to be so good. I knew there was going to be a battle, but if you look at it, the characters are so stacked on one side to where King Harold is the only real significant character that was on that opposing side. And, Season 5 has also brought the Ivar as a god thing to the forefront, which hasn't been great. Because Ivar was actually a really likable character, even with all of his issues. Obviously, he wasn't like the best morally, and he had anger issues. He had all these problems with him, but he was still a great, flawed character. Earlier on, when he was introduced, after the scenes with Ragnar at the end of season 4, mid-season 4, leading up to Ragnar's death, that's made you really actually like Ivar despite his flaws. But season 5 is pushing it in a harsher direction, where it's just he's the unlikable character, and we're going to root against him. It's hard to justify a lot of what he's doing now. I mean, whole God thing doesn't make him a very likable character at all. But despite all that, it's interesting to see all the other characters kind of coming together in a way, but Bjorn is splitting up, kind of annoying, but he wants to take it back from Ivar at the same time, so hopefully he'll become a rootable character again. Yeah, outstanding episode. Interested to see where the season goes for the last 4 episodes? 7, 8, 9? Yeah. Should be 4 more episodes left. There's probably another episode out since this video has been uploaded, but just very interested to see where it goes, and knowing that it's going to wrap up in season 6, I think it's a good thing, because the Vikings has really sped it up so much in this last season with a couple jump forwards in time, with huge fast forwards in time. Actually, I think it makes sense to wrap it up in a little bit of a timely fashion. I don't know if it's going to be full 20 episodes like these past couple seasons have been, or if it'll be a shorter season, kind of like Game of Thrones did. But regardless, I'm excited to see how it goes. So thank you. I love you, and I love Vikings. It's just so good. I've been watching so many reactions to it lately. I've really found my love for the show again and again. It just keeps coming back, despite, some little bit of frustration here and there. It's just hard to go away from it. It's great. Great show, great characters, casting on point. Lagertha's accent, though, by the way, I feel like it changes with the blow of the wind. On any given day, it could be a strong Torvi. I forget, there was one line in particular, season 5, where it was like, whoa, that was a strong accent, Lagertha, and then she's just back to talking normal the next scene, and it's like, that's something that's really weird to me. But yeah, that's it. All right, thanks.